Hello, YouTube. So, today we are going to talk about what I think, well, the Oscars might be coming up soon. So, I am going to be thinking and talking about what I personally think the best movies of 2018 have been. So, I'm going to talk about the top 10, what I think, and personally, the top 10 best movies of 2018 have been. So, let's get started with the list, huh? So, number 10 on the list of my personal favorite movies of 2018 is, I know you're wondering, why is it only 10th? Why is it 10th place? Why shouldn't it be better on the list? Let me explain. 10th place. Hey, and here's the thing. Most of you, when I tell you this, you're gonna be thinking, okay, why is this only on 10th spot? Shouldn't be more than just 10th spot. Shouldn't be better than that. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of movies in 2018, alright? So guess what? The fact that it made it on my list is an honor for that movie. So thank you. Okay, so that movie, that's 10th spot, is Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, I feel it belongs on this list because the action scenes were great, the story great, the villain phenomenal, honestly, and I actually cracked up, laughed during some of the really hilarious scenes, like the scene where Thor and goes into the arena, and then the Hulk comes and says, "Oh look, I know him. He's my friend from work." That scene was freaking hilarious. Thor Ragnarok. It's a great movie. The only issue I pretty much had with that movie that ruined a lot of it was the fact that some of the scenes with the villain were supposed to be intense, right? Because when a villain is attacking a city, especially a fantasy-like city, it's supposed to be tense with a lot of action. But what I feel like is that there was too much comedy in this movie, and I think that was kind of overshadowing, say, the intensity that there was supposed to be. I think they added too many comedic, say, moments when they weren't supposed to add those comedic moments into that film, right? Like, for example, there was a scene where, oh man, this scene is, this is why it's hard for me to put this in there's any better on this list, because here's the thing, I like that movie personally, but there's some scenes, the scene I was about to talk about, I literally just forgot it, because guess what? That scene I was thinking of, it's a very forgettable scene. So that's why I literally just forgot about it. Right? Okay, so that's 10th spot. 10th place on that list is Thor Ragnarok. Now, ninth place on that list, without any doubt. Without any doubt. Ninth place on this list. Might sound a little weird, might sound a little childish that I'm gonna say this, but Ralph Breaks the Internet is ninth place on my list. Do you know why? Why? Because I personally am a big, ginormous fan, of, I was a big fan of Wreck-It Ralph when that came out, right? I thought it was a brave step for Disney. Honestly, I really did. Like, because Disney hasn't the biggest person when it comes to making video game movies. I think when they made a movie about a video game back when Wreck-It Ralph was created, I think that was a very good movie, and they did it well. The action was good, the scenery, beautiful, everything was good. But then this year in 2018, when I found out they're gonna make a sequel to Wreck-It Ralph and call it Ralph Breaks the Internet, I was like, what? They're gonna talk about the internet now? Ralph is gonna go into the internet and find out what that's about? I thought it was gonna be, okay, pretty decent. And was it pretty decent? Yes, it was pretty decent. It was great. I mean, obviously it's not as good as Wreck-It Ralph, right? But good, and good is what it was. But Ralph Breaks Internet, I was honestly shocked. Like, I loved all the references in this movie. I loved the whole Stan Lee reference that they gave. I thought the scene where the princesses were literally just making fun of themselves. And the princesses, like, the Disney princesses just met Vanellope. And they were, like, starting to make fun of themselves, basically. They were like, so, if you want to make something happen, all you have to do is this. You have to stand on water and sing a song. Which is so true. Every Disney princess movie, that's how their wish comes true. They stand in front of a special piece of water and sing a song about what they want, you know? It's true. It's true. And the fact that they were making fun of themselves for that, it was freaking hilarious. It was hilarious, honestly. I cracked up when that happened. And I also love the Twitter references, the fact that they didn't even say the word Twitter. They just literally showed birds flying with thought bubbles on their head. It was great. I also love the Marvel references. So many references in Ralph Breaks Internet. Honestly, that was a brilliantly made movie. Honestly, it was brilliantly made. If I'm gonna be real, it's brilliantly made. Okay, so second place on my list of my top 10 favorite movies of not second place. Eighth place on Ralph Breaks In. 10th place was Thor Ragnarok, and 9th place was Ralph Breaks Internet, because I just said that, right? I just said that like a few minutes ago, right? So 8th place on my list for my top 10 favorite movies of 2018. 8th place is without a doubt. No, please don't get pissed off when I say this. I know you said it should be better on the list. It should be like second place. I know most of you guys say, oh, you're putting this on 8th place? Huh. It should be on second place or first place or third place, not 8th place. But I'm gonna put it on a place, and I don't care. I don't care. You hear me? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you a clue to what movie this is. Snapped my fingers. The superheroes turn into dust. Snap my fingers. Okay, I just said snap my fingers and everything else will turn to dust. So obviously, the movie I'm talking about is Avengers Infinity War. I know you're so mad right now, right? You're pretty mad right now about that. But it's true. It's true. It's really true, honestly. Avengers Infinity War is great. It's great. It really is. But, again, it had the same kind of issue. So let's talk about the positives and then the negatives, right? Right. Positives. Oh my gosh. You know what I love in Marvel movies? Okay, this might sound weird, but Marvel movies have way better villains than the DC superhero movies. Because here's the thing. You want a villain to be menacing. That's the point of a villain. The villain is supposed to be menacing. You want the villain to basically make you pee in your pants. Honestly, that's what you want the villain to do. And oh my gosh. I was scared. I was shivering when I saw Thanos going to the. I was shivering in fear, honestly. That is literally one of the most menacing villains I have seen. Not the best villain, not the most well-crafted villain. I'm going to give you a little hint right now. So Avengers Infinity War is 8th place on my list. But I'm going to give you one hint to what first place on the list is going to be. First place on the list has a super villain in it. It has a superhero in it. I think that's not the most menacing villain, but the most well-crafted villain. But right now, we're talking about 8th place. 8th place is Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War has the most menacing villain, but not the most well-crafted. So, Thanos, I love the whole thing where they have different. I love the concepts in Avengers Infinity War. Remember, 8th place, right? Right. So I love the whole concept where there was like different stones, right, that have to do with different aspects of how the universe works. I loved how that happened. That was brilliant. Honestly, that was brilliant. Um, I also love how it's brave. It's a very brave movie, a brave thing that they did that. Honest, it's brave that they did that. It really is. The fact that they, and honestly, some of the issues, I admit, it's probably the task that the group who was hired to make this movie in particular had to do is honestly, it's a monumental task. They literally brought practically every part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, every superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for X-Men and the Inhumans. But forget them, right? Honestly. But besides them, they practically put everybody in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into that movie. Pretty much all the superheroes into that movie. All the Marvel superheroes into that movie. Which is amazing. And they made it work, which I think is phenomenal. And the other thing I also loved about Avengers Infinity War is I think that in the Guardians of the Galaxy the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, they didn't give Gamora much of a backstory. I didn't feel her at all. Like, whatever with you. Like, whatever, honestly. Like, in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I could have watched those movies without Gamora if she wasn't around. But in Avengers Infinity War, they actually fleshed her out a little bit, literally gave her kind of a backstory. Like, how can I say it? They gave her a backstory? Well, the part where they show that Gamora has two sides. She loves Thanos because Thanos, you know, practically raised her, but she also hates Thanos because of how evil he is. I love that. It's a very deep moral code. Now the negatives. And the reason why I'm not going to talk too much about Avengers Infinity War is because it's one of the biggest movies of the year. Biggest movies of the year. It's a big blockbuster, right? I don't want to spoil it for anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying the best I can to make this list spoiler free. Because just in case there's any movie on this list that some people haven't seen yet, I'm trying to make this, video spoiler free, spoiler free. I'm gonna try my best to make sure. I'm not gonna say it's going to be 100% spoiler free. I'm trying my best to make it say 90% spoiler free. That's a good deal. 100% spoiler free. That means you can't even talk about the movie, and that's not like what in the world, honestly. You can't even say there's a great villain, honestly. That just spoils the movie right there. So I can't do 100% spoiler free, but how about we do 90% spoiler free? That's good deal, huh? Good deal? Okay. So anyway, those are the positives of Avengers Infinity War, the negatives. There's a lot of negatives, honestly. Thing is this. I really didn't agree with Thanos' motivation for doing what he did. His motivation was this. If we kill half of the universe, we're going to be saving half of it. That's what Thanos' moral code was. It just made no sense. I didn't like that at all. And I thought that the CGI, towards the part where they do a battle in Wakanda, I thought honestly that some of the monsters that were in there were the CGI monsters were a little cheesy. How can I say this? I think the epic battle in the movie Avengers Infinity War was more Lord of the Ringy than it was Marvel. If that makes sense, right? It was more Lord of the Rings style. I'm not saying Lord of the Rings is bad. Lord of the Rings is amazing. I love the Lord of the Rings. But you shouldn't put stuff that's from the Lord of the Rings basically in Marvel, is what I'm gonna say. If that makes sense. Now, I'm not gonna tell you in this video. I'm not gonna tell you the other parts of the list because now I'm gonna make a part 2. This is part 1. Now I'm gonna stop this video right here and create a part 2. Okay? Okay, bye. You wanna find out what 7th place is, 6th place is, 5th place is, 4th place is, 3rd place, 2nd place, and first place is. Watch part 2. Thank you. Bye.